Hi guys, this is the Whitestone Podcast 1876. Today we have on our guest Cecil Sena Nutakor. Just to let you know, he's the founder, chief executive of eCampus LLC, an education technology startup that helps measures, analyzes, and protects your readiness for examinations, employment, and compliances. Everybody welcome Cecil Nutakor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How you been? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I've heard so much about eCampus. I'm happy to meet you on the set.
Same here. Same here. Same here.
So, can you tell us why eCampus?
All right. So, literally, E stands for electronic.
Say that again.
Literally, E. The E stands for
Electronic, correct.
So, campus, we all know, right? So, electronic campus. Right? So, just call it eCampus. I think we went with that because, like, life is a campus. Like, from the day you were born, you've been learning a lot of things, right? So we feel if we can treat our day-to-day activities and our existence and our experiences as a campus, we may pay more seriousness or attach some level of, intentionality to what we do on a daily basis. Because most of the things that we actually know and apply to our lives, we're not taught in a formal classroom or a formal campus, but the real, life campus. So that's where the idea came from.
Okay, let's start from background. From crèche to junior high to senior high to college, then carry forward.
Okay. From what I know from my mom, because I started writing my books, I had to do all those interviews. So I think I was born prematured at a few quanta. There were no incubators in Ghana at the time. She was a midwife. I think Dr. Quist was like, this guy is not going to live to see his fifth birthday, so let's just...
So you actually remember Dr. Quiz?
Yeah, let's just... Now, my mom told
me. The mom
that,
told you.
So when I was interviewing her and my dad for my book, so she has to create her own incubator environment, that kind of stuff. And eventually I have to be flown to Nigeria through Togo because my dad was there at the time teaching at the Sokoto Polytechnic. So in Nigeria is where I started growing up. And, according to my dad and mom, they were not making enough, to actually take me to crèche or, this kind of stuff. So I was home. But then, it's a compound house. So when the other kids go to school and come back and they are reciting their stuff, like, oh, Roger is dead and go to his grave, move, ah. So my dad will use his ghetto blaster to record it. So that when they go to school and I can't go to school because things were a bit hard, then he'll be playing those things to me. And there was one occasion my mom said the kids came back and they were doing their own things. And I was like, no, that's not how he said, this is how he said. And I was actually right, but I wasn't going to school. I was just listening to the recordings that when they come home, my dad does for me. So that's kind of my crush. I don't know where you got that
so
idea from.
If I want to ask a question, when did you start schooling? At what age did you start schooling?
I actually started schooling very late. I think 8 years.
8 years?
Instead of the usual one. But I think I was schooling,
Homeschooling.
Those recordings were very useful. So sometimes I feel like maybe that was my destiny because that's what I do now. Telling people to listen to recordings and watch videos instead of going to a real classroom. So that's how my crèche kind of started. Then, of course, Ghana must go. So my mom, took me and my little brother, brought us to my grandma, and then we went to Maoli Primary School.
How old were you at that time?
Well, I think I was like, almost 8, 9, 10. So came to primary school in Hope with my grandma. Myself as last my junior brother. And that's how primary school started for me. Then, primary school was okay. It was fun. It was okay to make mistakes.
What school was that?
Home Maoli Primary.
Home Maoli in the Volta
EP
region.
Church. Yeah, EP. It belongs to the church. EP in the Volta region. My grandma, because my mom had to go back to Nigeria and go and do their thing. Right. So I think when it was time to leave to senior secondary school, now they call it JHS, right? Then I think my dad came back from Nigeria eventually. He got a job at Kumasi Polytechnic.
Okay.
He was a town planner, so we had to relocate to Kumasi. So I started my junior high school in Kumasi at State Experimental behind Akujo.
A very good school to be honest.
Yeah, those times, it was. Yeah.
It's still a good school, you know.
Yeah, it still be. You just need to try.
Then after that, where did you go?
We need to try and renovate their building. So, states, you guys go fix those buildings.
I like that.
So from there, you do the BC thing. I remember class of 98, we to write our back, those things. So at the time, my mom wanted me to be a doctor because, she's a physician anesthetist, do surgery, so she was obsessed with that. And my dad thought, no, I should do business, so there was this, and me, just want to live my life.
As it is.
Yeah, I just want to live my life, but I think that I was more into music, so, I was following, Shack Attack, Blessed Memory, Big Shack, following Shack, rapping around, after, going for programs at City Hotel, performing on the same stages with what, how do you call it, Lord Kenya and what, Brafo and stuff. That was my thing at the time. My mom didn't like it, I won several awards with City, FM in Kumasi and stuff, but they said go to school. Right nowadays, we're all more attached to our moms. So,
True.
Osei gave me science, so I can be a doctor. And Opokuwari gave me business, so I can do business. So I remember, my dad got me, this Ecolax. It was fancy with the rope, you pull it. And my mom got me the normal trunk. Like
the black and red one.
Yeah, the red and black one. But I had to listen to my mom. So I went to OT. I didn't go do the business. I went to do the science so I could become a doctor. And everything just went south. I didn't like school anymore. I don't know. It was, primary and JHS where it was fun. Like, it was okay to make mistakes. But all of a sudden, senior high, seniors are bullying you, and then the teachers are too rough. You have to memorize everything, and there's pressure on you. So, I didn't really like it. So I was doing my rap game thing. I didn't last for a year. I gotta leave.
Why? What happened?
We're a bit stubborn to, those things. It was more fun fair. You have to go to the girls' schools, go and do Fun World, those things.
I remember those stuff.
Yeah, it was like, I was more into those things than the academics.
What makes you switch your life from what you're telling me now to eCampus?
Yeah, we'll get there. I'll break it down.
No, that's why you're here. I really want to know.
So, I remember when I got to OT, our first entertainment night, right? I won the best rapper, I won the whole day. Because I was rapping with Big Shack, Mercury FM. I was performing on the same stages with Lord Kenya before I went to high school. So, that entertainment was easy, man. So then everybody, just some new blog guy on the K, that kind of stuff. So I got favors. Some two didn't like me, so I got punished for the wrong reasons and all of that. So I started.
Can I ask a question? Were you making money out of it?
That time, 99, I wasn't even thinking.
This was fun. This was fun.
Wear your oversized shoes and oversized jeans, and you're feeling all cool, your football and stuff. That was the whole thing. Your bandanas and your plenty things. Right, so it was fun, but then my mom didn't like that, so I started joining the day students home instead of staying on campus as a boarder, because if you stay that night, they'll come and do roll call. You know how it is in our secondary schools those days, because we went to meet the sixth formers, so it was tough. So I think, Aluta, one or two, those things, so I had to be sacked.
You did? You was?
Yeah, I had to leave. I had to go. It wasn't sustainable. I didn't even pick my trunk, my mattress, nothing.
You had to leave?
Yo, man, you
just left?
Yeah, you
kicked out?
So I left, try high school, didn't work. And then my mom was like, okay, let's move this dude to Accra. Because then one of my uncles, like my mom's uncle, was teaching at Nungwa Secondary. And it was a mixed school. So the plan is that, okay, maybe if they take this guy to a mixed school, he might, shipping up a bit. So I ended up in Nungwa Secondary. Tough times. Still, I couldn't feel the vibe. Like, learning was not fun. It felt like a chore. It felt like I have to struggle to do it. I wanted it to come to me on a cool. But because Nusek, for some reason, entertainment wasn't a thing. I had to push it. So I joined the basketball team so I can just get out of.
How tall are you?
I don't know. I'm like.
What made you think you can join the basketball team?
5'4". Yeah, 5'4".
5'4".
Yeah. So I joined not because I want to play and then.
I'm looking at you right now.
Yeah. So I just want to, because they have to go and train at the nautical college. So I get a chance to get out of school, like that whole confine. So yeah, long story short, time came for the exams. Yeah, man, we failed, man. I failed.
You did again, 2 times.
Failed, and then, did the remedials, failed, So the remedial you do again, right? So the third one failed. So now, like, hey, this guy is not serious.
He's not going to make it.
So I was like, okay, if I'm going to write for the 4th time, I'm looking for a tool that can help me, at least predict, give me some idea of whether I'll pass or I'll fail. Or at least give me an idea of which topics I'm weak in so I can dodge those questions, But I didn't get any tool. So I think the good thing that happened was, that thing we were doing back in those days when you finish, you go to computer classes.
Anyone ever did?
That thing.
I never had an opportunity.
That thing changed everything. So that, that 1 year, go to computer class, learn the basics of word processing, spreadsheets, Corel Draw, networking. So I learned all those things. And my interest in that was more fun because I was actually creating stuff. So I fell in love with that. So I said, okay, then let me try and use Microsoft Access. They don't do that anymore. To try and create the tool that can help me predict whether I'll pass or fail each of the subjects I have to rewrite. So that's how eCampus started. So I created that using diskettes, Microsoft Access. I remember I had to beg my mom one dawn to buy me a computer. She didn't have all the money, so I had to assemble it myself, buy this hardware, buy the hardware. Because of the computer class I went, so I could do those things. And I created it, and it was helping me. So I took all the past questions, broke it down into topics, and then arrange the questions, create an interface. So you can now answer, and then after you're done, it marks it for you. Then it tells you, okay, this topic, you got maybe 5 questions out of 10. This is why it goes 0.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, this 2003.
You are telling me something about this is so ridiculous.
So I did it, and I'm like, okay, this might help me. Then I started showing it to my other colleagues that were doing the remedials with me. So I give them the diskette, they go to the internet cafe, they try it, and they're like, this is cool. It makes learning interesting compared to using the book where the answers are at the back with the full makeup board, you're cheating yourself. So they like that one. Then I'm like, okay, so if you want, I'll sell it because I buy the diskettes. The floppy disks, 1.44 megabytes. So if you want the colored one, that's premium. So that's how I started making money on the streets of Takoradi. That's when everything went south. I had to go back to Takoradi with my mom and try and hustle. So I actually did my computer class at the Air Force's mess at Takoradi. Discipline because that one. So that helped. And that's how eCampus was born. So I looked at what I've done. I'm like, okay, this thing, I learned about almost everything. Go, you save the web pages on diskettes, come and read. There was this ship called Locust 2, came from Europe, brought some books. I got some books there. So I'm like, this thing, it's not in a proper school that taught me, right? So life is my campus. So this is actually my campus, eCampus, electronic campus. Okay, let me call it that. Then I started selling diskettes and thinking I'll use it to prepare for the 4th attempt. And I started making money out